There we go. Enter Shanks.
Shanks.
Mhm.
Long Shanks.
Long Shanks.
Is that his name?
I don't think so. Maybe. Well, I never claimed I was a genius at One Piece. What's Shanks' full name? If people were Portgas D. Shanks. I was gonna say it's definitely not long.
Portgas.
I don't know what Portgas means, but is the G
The
silent?
name is
Portis?
a child. That
Portis D. Shanks.
probably not.
So in episode 4, once we met Zoro and all this good stuff, we're introduced to Luffy's backstory, in which a man named Shanks, we find out, is the one who essentially gave Luffy his hat and saved his life as a child. And one of the first really impactful scenes, in my opinion, was Shanks just getting doused in alcohol and just, quite frankly, being a little baby, which pisses Luffy off. What did you think about this whole scene?
I don't think he was being a little baby. I thought this was an interesting scene.
Yeah, no, I agree. he wasn't being a little. We know he wasn't being a little baby, but at first glance, it's kind of you know. I thought this was. I find this scene interesting because I feel like in a typical anime, it would easily divulge into Shanks just being a total badass in kicking this dude's butt in that scene.
Well, I think that's telling of his character here, because he, in fact, does not do that. He's very, so to set it up, this mountain bandit comes in, asks for alcohol, but the bar is out because she sold it all to Shanks and his pirates. And Shanks offers him, the last bottle that he just bought, and the guy says, he smashes it into his face and says, that's not even a nighttime sip for me. I'm a big mountain bandit.
I'm a big old mountain bandit with 8 million berries.
Yeah, 8 million berries on my head. And then Shanks goes, now the floor is all wet. Oh no. And I think that's he very easily could have, started something here. But
Right.
I think his character was able to recognize and have the situational awareness that if he did start something here, there's this 10-year-old kid right next to him. There's this woman across the bar who's not a fighter. He was making a judgment call whether to be a pacifist or start something, and I think he made a very important choice regarding the safety of those around him.
Yeah, and just the fact that what would it really accomplish?
And I would like to point out that all of this was about situational awareness, and that's very good on Shanks. Situational awareness is not something Luffy has.
Certainly not in this backflash. Not really in general. I would agree.
He does not have it.
He does not have much situational awareness. So what? From what I'm understanding, though, you very much you like this scene. Did you like this flashback in general?
I mean, I absolutely have my. I could shit on this scene if I wanted to, but I think it's one of the better scenes at this point.
You could shit on any scene if you really wanted to.
I could. I really could. It's so easy. But yeah, so in the interest of time, for the sake of brevity, I won't go into all my nitpicky details about this scene. Okay. But overall, it's a well composed. I won't say the whole flashback is well composed, but this scene in general, I think is one of the better scenes of the show at this point.
Okay, cool. So, along with Shanks, you get a little bit of introduction to Shanks' crew. And so, what did you think about this scene?
That fat guy?
Yeah, so the premise is that the mountain bandit comes back. He's got Luffy. Luffy went to go fight him because Luffy's a child, idiot child.
That doesn't change.
And Shanks essentially steps out and is like, leave him alone, blah, blah, blah. And one of the mountain bandits pulls a gun on Shanks. And Shanks is like, don't use this to scare people. And out of the fucking blue, big old fatso here eating a chicken strip, big old gun, basically teleports over to the dude, blasts him right in the head.
Yeah, I think this was the first time we actually see some pirate shit go down.
Yeah. It is very pirate feeling.
Like no honor among thieves. Like I'll shoot you in the back of the head if given the opportunity. Like I think it's really cool. Like this is what a pirate story should be about.
Mm-hmm.
Like backstabbing and swashbuckling and all that.
Well, I mean, that's just based on your preconceived notions of what pirates are.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying, maybe you should warp your view a little bit and realize that
Maybe
when
I should change my definition of pirate, is what you're saying?
if half the world is made of pirates, you're gonna have different levels of piratism.
That makes no sense to me.
How does that make no sense? Has the world ever been half pirates? They're always a minority. They're always swashbuckling, like you said. They always got to be robbers and stuff. But when half the world is pirates, which in this case just means going against the government, essentially. The government pins them as pirates. I guess they also consider themselves pirates because they don't listen to the government's rules. But when half the world is essentially that, there's going to be different levels of how shitty of a pirate you are, right?
I feel like if you're gonna go around like presenting yourself as a pirate, but then you never really pirate anything, you're not a pirate.
Well, that's fair, but is this is this in regards to who's this jabbing at?
My first the first jab would be at Luffy and his crew.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They go around making the world a better place.
Yeah.
That's not a pirate thing to do. But this is a pirate thing to do. Like, all right, now we're out of the situation before. I got you in a more like advantageous position, and you made the first threat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do what I have to do to win.
Shoot you in the head.
Yeah, and like not feel bad about it. And I think that's cool. That's a cool pirate thing to do.
It is a cool pirate thing to do. I'm curious. I'm curious how your view warps as we go along here. So next up, we got this guy who steps up to the plate next, also part of Shanks' crew, and basically takes on all the mountain bandits with not even it's a gun, but he's wielding it like a sword pretty much. Just beats the crap out of him. What you think of this guy? Also, I don't think this happened in the anime, but in the manga, he puts out a cigarette on this dude's face, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that did not happen in the show.
Just puts it right on there and then beats the crap out of the rest.
Oh, this guy's cool. Because I'm pretty sure I don't think he ever shoots the gun, right?
He
just
doesn't.
Uses it as a club.
He just uses it as a club to beat the crap out of them all, because he doesn't even need to use the gun. That's how insignificant these people are to him.
Yeah. No, this guy's cool. Like he's got this like, oh, I'm so badass, I don't even need to shoot my gun.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Like, yeah, that's and I'm gonna put out my cigarette in your eye. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I like him too. He seems like a cool dude. Which leads us to the big scene.
Yeah, the big.
Luffy.
There's probably an arm pun somewhere here.
Yeah, but I'm not clever enough to think of it.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m.
Yeah, I agree. So in this scene, Luffy got captured by the bandit. The bandit was going to take him away to sea because I believe, if I remember correctly, because he's a rubber boy, right? And he was going to sell him for money or something.
Nope.
No? What's the reason? Tell me. It's much stupider, isn't it?
Yeah, he was just going to kill Luffy.
He just was going to bring him out to sea to kill him?
Yeah, because he knew that he couldn't swim.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just like, I'm going to... So here's the exact words.
I mean, that's reasonable.
So let me see if I can find here. He drops after like Shanks and his crew wipe out the mountain bandits. He's all that's left. He drops a smoke grenade, grabs Luffy, and disappears.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him out on the boat, and he says, "I made a clean getaway. I brought you out to sea because I'm a mountain bandit, and they never would have expected me to go out to the water to get away.
That's fair. That seems logical.
It does. But then moments later, here's Shanks, and it's never addressed, like the logic behind the getaway. That's just like a line that's thrown in there for no reason.
Yeah, that's fair. It's probably unnecessary, but I think it's just to
it is
show that
unnecessary.
Shanks a smart dude. He knew the mountain bandit was gonna do this. He saw right through. He played this mountain bandit every step of the way.
I don't know if that's it.
What else would it be? I can't think of any other reason why it would
I think
be.
it's just a stupid line.
That not. I mean, that's because you're you're going
he
in
did not make a
assume
clean
you're
getaway.
looking for. He did for a point.
He lost all of his crew and was followed immediately by Shanks.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think that's neither here nor there. That dude got eaten by a fish. So.
He did immediately get eaten by a fish.
And in the process, Shanks's arm essentially gets ripped off of his body.
Yeah, because the fish then goes for Luffy, and Shanks like pushes him out of the way or grabs him out of the way, but he couldn't get his arm out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts about this scene? Specifically, the arm losing part. You know, like just the scene on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks. I would hate to lose an arm.
But Shanks seems cool with it. He seems fine with it.
Yeah, like his goal was to save Luffy, right? And he saved Luffy. Which, I mean, this whole flashback had me questioning, what's the relationship between Shanks and this village and Luffy? Like, why does Luffy look up to Shanks so much? Is that ever, like, expanded on in the future?
I think it's just implied that at least that you know, Shanks was around and was basically a father figure to Luffy.
Okay.
Essentially.
So yeah, like any father would give their arm for their child.
Yeah. But
ideally.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I know.
But I also don't have any kids, so
yeah.
You know, I'll let you know in the future if that changes. No, I think that's fair. I think it's another good insight to character or to Shanks' character. Even after he loses his arm, he's still just trying to calm Luffy down and being like, it's just an arm, whatever. At least you're alive.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it speaks to like his respect not only for Luffy but for the village in general. Like he in this whole sequence, he wasn't just protecting Luffy. He was, you know, protecting the village from these mountain bandits.
Yeah, a very pirate thing to do.
Right. Well, I mean, it could be argued that like this is his home, so he's gonna protect his home.
That's true.
And he happens to have a pirate crew to help him.
That's fair. Oh. The image on the screen is not the same as the image that I am showing you. So, I don't know why that's messed up. We'll go to this for the time being, so that the people watching can see. Which leads us to, I think, a good place to wrap up this podcast. We made it through episode 1 through 4, a good amount. Shanks giving his hat to Luffy because he is a pirate. He does have to leave. He's got the train kept rolling.
He's got pirate things to do out at sea.
He's got pirate things to do out at sea. He can't stick around any longer, but
hat weighing him down.
Gives him the hat and says, when you become a famous pirate, return that hat to me. So, at the beginning you said you hated the whole idea of the One Piece always being in the back of the mind.
Yes.
Being kind of the sole purpose for Luffy going out. I would argue that this is just as much of a reason for Luffy to go out and become a great pirate. And do you think this is a little bit better of a reason?
No, yeah. If this was the sole reason, I think it'd be much better. But like, it's kind of dependent on the One Piece because In Luffy's mind, the definition of becoming a great pirate is becoming king of the pirates to get in the One Piece, and then he can return it.
Yeah, which is an interesting thought, though, isn't it? So that almost supersedes this. This almost takes precedent. The only reason he wants to get the One Piece is because he wants to return the hat to Shanks, and he doesn't feel like he can do that until he becomes the king of the pirates.
I would normally agree with you, but hold on.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Episode 3, I think. Yeah, episode 3. Luffy is sitting in his boat with Zoro after they get away from that one marine place.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoro asks him, "So why do you want to be king of the pirates? Is there any reason?" Luffy says, "No reason." That's it.
I'll give you that. It is kind of odd, isn't it?
For Luffy being so open and not subtle, he would, if there was a reason, he would have said right then, "So I can give this hat back to Shanks."
I'll give you that. It's an odd choice. Especially because you said that was at the end of episode 3. Episode 4 is when this flashback began. So yes. It almost would have been a perfect transition.
It would have
for
been.
him to like say to give this hat back. But I mean, maybe it's not the reason. Maybe that's just it. Maybe we'll learn more about Luffy's backstory in the future, and it will all come to light. But for right now, I can say that Luffy obviously wants to bring the hat back to Shanks.
Yeah.
But, and so that is certainly a big piece of his character. I think Shanks as a whole is a big piece of his character, and it's going to be interesting to see what that entails going forward. So,
yeah.